You've studied all day, all night, but then you still fail to get in what you want to learn into your brain. You tried all your possible best. And in fact, when you think you've actually studied and you go to your exam, completely forget everything. It is because you are not studying the right way. And on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how exactly you can study the right way. I'm going to be teaching you how you are going to do it step by step. I'll share with you the ways you've been studying that you think are the right way, but then they are not. Through research and through my experience, I've actually listed different ways you've actually been studying and you feel like they are the most effective. And I'll be stating that with you right now. The first thing is that most of you simply read your notes over and over again. You read your notes over and over again just by looking at it, and you go through a loop by repeating it. You want to learn a particular definition and you keep reciting the definition to yourself. That is not the right way to do it. You should not do that. That is not studying. And most of the time when you are asked a question on that particular thing, you might not remember everything. Another way you study, which you think is the right way, is highlighting everything in your textbook. You are given a book and you just keep highlighting everything one after the other. You are just deceiving yourself and you're only painting your book. There is no how you get anything you want to learn just by highlighting it. Another thing is that cramming the night before an exam. You've not been studying for a long time. You have your exam in the next few days and you start cramming, or maybe you've not covered enough and you just try to cram everything in nights before your exam. Just don't do that. It's not going to work. Another thing is that studying for long hours without breaks. You just sit down and you keep studying for 12, 10 hours without taking a break. Your brain has to take rest while you are studying. So it's important for you to take rest, and even if it's just 5 minutes, study for 5 minutes and go for break. So you don't have to study for that long. After sharing with you all the ways you've been studying, which you think are the right ways, I'll be explaining to you the right ways you should study. And the first way is that engaging with your material. Engagement is the act of doing. Engagement by rewriting what you've actually learned yourself and giving a summary in a sheet of paper. Take a summary and write it down in your own words, or write while you are reading. At that point, you are engaging with your material and you are also thinking about what you are reading. Another way you can engage with your material is to try to teach someone or explain to someone, or rather explain to yourself. That's another way of engaging with your material. Just make sure that you are not rereading the words. You're trying to think about what you are learning. You're trying to reflect and look and ask yourself, am I really understanding what I'm learning? Is it really getting into my brain? And that is the right way. Constantly ask yourself questions about what you are reading. Is very important. Another way you can actually study the right way is to use techniques that force your brain to recall and apply information. When you are studying something, try to force your brain to recall. While you are recalling, you are strengthening the memory trace of that information in your brain, and it makes it easy for you to recall at any point in time. While you are doing this, always have a clue when you are reading, because whenever you want to remember, it is that clue you use in trying to remember what you studied. So don't just reread everything. Try to force yourself to recall what you are learning. It can be hard, I understand. You just read something, you're trying to recall. The effort it took you to recall and force yourself, it makes that information stick into your brain. That's one thing. Another thing is to space out your learning session instead of cramming. Space it out. Study bit by bit. I have said it before and I'll keep saying it again. Study bit by bit before the day of your exam. It strengthens your memory. It strengthens what you are learning, and you will never forget if you do that. Give yourself time to forget the information and review it again. Just keep reviewing it over and over again and space out your learning. That is the way. Another thing is to test yourself regularly to reinforce learning. Always test yourself. Do not just go through the material without testing yourself. Try as much as possible to pay attention. Do not be distracted. Pay attention, because it is what you pay attention to that your brain takes into account. If you don't pay attention, there is no how your brain will be able to make new connections, and there is no how you'll be able to remember. And also, try to prioritize sleep. Sleep every time. Do not just force yourself to just keep reading without sleeping. If you don't sleep, you are not giving your brain time to consolidate the information. If you just follow the right ways that I've discussed in this video, you will start seeing results rather than doing the things that I actually stated before. So if you got value from this video, like the video and also subscribe to the channel. You can also check out this other video on other informations you need to study and remember anything you study. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.